LupinRanger! Okay, I'm gonna cut that out. Hi everyone, I'm Showa60, and today I just want to talk about something that I barely got a chance to talk about ever since my Captain Marvelous in character episode. For those of you who know me or don't know me at all, I'm a huge tokusatsu fan. If you haven't seen my Kamen Rider Henshin video, then there's a sheer indicator that I am a huge Kamen Rider fan. But I'm also an even bigger Super Sentai fan. I have a lot more Super Sentai merch than I do Kamen Rider products, so yeah. But the point of this video is to talk about a new series that just came out this year called Kaito Sentai LupinRanger vs. Keisatsu Sentai PatRanger. This is like the first ever Super Sentai series to incorporate two Sentais in one show, as opposed to it being like a V-Cinema, or in this case V-Next, crossover or whatnot. And that's the beauty of it. It's not another Sentai crossover. These are two Sentais that will share an entire year together. Except for these two Sentais are going to be at each other's throats for a while. So it's going to be an all-out smorgasbord clusterfudge of two Sentais fighting each other while fighting a common evil. Now, the main premise of LupinRanger vs. PatRanger is an evil crime syndicate known as Gangler has made its way to Earth, and they want to steal all sorts of items. One of their greatest achievements was stealing the Lupin collection, which is a series of ancient artifacts and treasures that were purloined, or rather stolen, from by the great legend Arsène Lupin, who was the inspiration for the Monkey Punch manga and anime franchise Lupin III. The Lupin Rangers, especially Lupin Red, who is a direct descendant of the great Arsène Lupin, who is known as Kairi, not to be confused with Kairi from Kingdom Hearts, must gather two of his other comrades to get the Lupin collection from Gangler's hands. On the other side of things, we have the International Police Squad. Its field officers are Patron 1, Patron 2, and Patron 3. They're led by this cool little kick-ass black dude who is, unlike many foreign actors and such, are something of an eternal mainstay in the series. Their mentor figure is a black dude who speaks damn good Japanese, who's going to be around for quite a while. Now, I'm not trying to be like this Tumblrite about it, no offense to anyone on Tumblr by the way, but it's really cool to see something like that. We got more of a mainstay that is a non-Japanese person who's very good at the language. And his accent is pretty decent, no less. But moving forward, what might be a common formula for this series is that both Sentais will face Gangler, while at the same time they'll fight against each other. The obvious reason being that the Lupin Rangers are thieves, and thievery is illegal. So of course the PatRangers are going to be going toe-to-toe with the Lupin Rangers and Gangler all at the same time, whereas the Lupin Rangers will face Gangler and will have to evade the PatRangers. Now, both Rangers have the same exact transformation gun. The only difference is that their gimmicks differ from one another. The Lupin Rangers' transformation gimmicks have dials on them, and their gimmicks are placed on top of the gun whenever they transform, whereas the PatRangers, theirs is placed on the bottom, and they don't have dials. But with the Lupin Rangers gimmicks is that since they have dials, they have the ability to access any door that seems to be impossible to open, which is really cool on the Lupin Rangers part. Also, their suit designs are much better, whereas the PatRangers, well, it leaves a lot to be desired. Let's just leave it at that. Oh yeah, the PatRangers robot buddy is called Jim Carter, which I think was pretty cool. Now, in regards to the first episode, it's like the Lupin Rangers are famous throughout all of Japan and around the world. They're all through social media, they're stealing all sorts of stuff and they're famous for it. Kairi is just like eating it all up. And this is where we see the two Red Rangers for the first time. We have Lupin Red and we got Patron 1. Lupin Red basically trolls him and says, if you're going to crumble a newspaper and toss it somewhere, toss it in a trash can. Of course, Patron 1 misses. Let's talk about the PatRanger's red hero 1 second when I say that this guy really does have a stick up his ass. Like seriously, the guy does not know when to chill. Pattern 1 is just so uppity. Like he kind of reminds me of Zenigata from Lupin the Third. Whereas Commander Hilltop, like he's like, oh no, it's okay, just drop the formalities and stuff. Don't have to have your panties up in the bunch. I like him. It's also cool to know that his actor, being an American and all, he does an incredible job in the Japanese entertainment industry too. But anyway, back to LupinRanger and PatRanger. Like, we don't see their robots yet, but it's clear that those two are going to clash while facing Gangler. And I wonder how that is going to fare. The series, for being a children's show, almost kind of harkens back to the older Sentai shows, where they have a much more adult theme than they usually do in this day and age. And it's kind of cool to see that. But of course I'm going off the first episode, and at the same time it's like, it's too soon to make a clear and absolute judgment call to say that this show is any good or any bad. But I like what I'm seeing so far, and I really hope to see more of that in the future. It's really awesome. Yeah, Sentai versus Sentai, Sentai versus villain, and so on. And I like that. I like where they're going with this. Now, I'll be honest with you though, when I first saw like the promotional trailers and TV spots for LupinRanger versus PatRanger, I was kind of intimidated because like we're seeing 2 Sentai now instead of just one entire Sentai team. And already they're whipping out the 6th hero as early on as now. The very minute the show starts. Well, I wouldn't call him the 6th hero, or rather the 4th hero for both teams. With that, I'm kind of suspecting that Patron X and Lupin X is going to be like this double agent or so. And I really suspect that Commander Hilltop is going to be the hero character and mentor character at the same time, or it's just going to be a different character, or it's going to be a different person. Will it be like a foreign actor or actress, or something along the lines of a Japanese actor or so? I don't know. But what I do know is that we see this new Ranger's transformation device. We see its gimmick. We see the robots that he's piloting. We see the suits that he's wearing. On one side, he's going to join the PatRangers, and on the other side, he's going to join the LupinRangers. Will he bring them together, or will they just continue to be at each other's throats? Again, the first episode just came on, so it's safe to say that we should really calm ourselves down and wait until the series comes to a close. But what are your thoughts on the first episode of LupinRanger versus PatRanger? Do you think it's good? Do you think the series is going to do well this year? Do you think it's going to suck, or do you think it's going to ruin the franchise? So just let me know in the comments. And if I missed a few things here, just fact check me if you want. Till next time, this is Showa signing out. Catch you in the next video. Ja ne!